This is the IQOO 13. I got a card here. I got the IQOO 13. So people are asking if there is a gap in between the display of the IQOO 13. So I'll just try to put this card in the side of this display. I'm trying to push it inside and you can see that in my device this is not going inside, which means that the phone which I have does not have any issues with the display. But if yours does have, then do let me know in the comments. So yeah, the IQOO 13 review. I'll just try to keep this raw and up to the point. This is one of the most powerful Android smartphones you can buy today, which is running the latest Snapdragon 8 Elite Chipset, and you're getting this for a price point of 53,000. So the main doubt people are having is, okay, you're getting the most powerful smartphone for 53,000, so do we have any compromises? Well, you'll get to know in the end of this video. First, let's talk about the design. The light which you see around this camera module, this is what will make people ask you, okay bro, which is that phone? I don't know what IQOO calls this, because on the website they call this the monster halo light. In the notification panel they call this the atmospheric light effect, but in settings they call it the dynamic light. So you can call it whatever you want. Well, the camera module is actually huge. There is a slight change of design from last year. You can see the BMW Motorsport branding here, and almost equal sized very slim bezel display. One thing that I noticed is when you pick up this phone without a case, you'll feel the device is cold. Maybe because it's a glass sandwich design. The LED ring light which you can see here is actually very useful when you want to see the notifications. The first thing which you'll notice in this device is, say you unlock this phone with a fingerprint, you can see a subtle vibration, and the vibration or the haptic feedback in this device is so good. I'll tell you a hack, okay? You have to go to the settings, open the touch vibration and keep this low. Once you do this, when you're typing, you'll get a subtle vibration feedback which feels very satisfying. You can see there is a pre-applied screen protector on this. You can keep this or you can remove this. Now the fingerprint scanner here is really fast, and you have a lot of customization options for the fingerprint animation. You can see there is a speaker grill in the bottom of the phone and there is a speaker grill on the top of the phone. One strange thing which I noticed is, if you hold the phone like this and you're watching a video, you're probably bound to cover one of the speakers. So here you can see this speaker is fine, it's not covered, but this one is covered. Now you hold it like this, then you are going to cover this speaker, but this will be open. But for those people who watch it in one hand, the experience of the sound is crazy. I mean, in my experience, right, you don't have to crank it up to 100%. Around 60 to 70% is adequately loud. It's not just loud, you can feel a little bit bass, treble. It's kind of a good speaker. I'll tell you one thing, if somebody is next to you and you're keeping it in 100% sound, they might probably ask you, bro, are you deaf? Now, if you take a look around the device, you can see there is antenna cutouts here, 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 here. So in 360 degrees, you can see a lot of antenna cutouts. So me personally, I'm using a GeoSIM. One strange thing which I've noticed in most of the smartphones I have used with GeoSIM is, you go to an area where the 5G network is there, but it's not there. What happens, it will show you LTE, you turn on the airplane mode, turn it off, you'll see the 5G there for a brief moment and then the 5G disappears and goes back to 4G. But in this device, I did not notice that thing. The 5G reception is actually very good even when you have a poor coverage. It might be because of this much antenna cutouts or because of the new Snapdragon Elite chipset, but anyways, connectivity is good. The display is fantastic. The main thing I liked is, if you take it outdoors, the display brightness is very good. The visibility is also very good. Just make sure to keep the display resolution at 2K. I don't know who will turn that off, because that's why you bought the phone, right? You know, the display is actually 144Hz refresh rate, but there's a by default option called Smart Switch. It's supposed to save battery by intelligently adapting to the screen refresh rates. But one small thing which I noticed here is, if you keep that, certain applications, certain common applications will not support 120 or 144 Hz, it will be stuck at 60 Hz. So when you are scrolling, you don't feel that smooth in some applications. So I'll recommend you just keep this in high. So keep it at 144 Hz, and then here you can see, right, apps running at high refresh rate. Just tap this and then just make sure that every application is checked in so you get a smooth experience. I know what you're thinking, so you have to keep it in 144 Hz all the time. So what about a battery life? This has a 6000 milliampere battery and I can easily go through the whole day. I'm getting a screen on time of from 7, 8 to 9 hours. Depends on your usage, but even at heavy usage, you'll get around 7 to 8 hours, which is very good. And in case you feel that the juice is out a little early, it supports up to 120 watts of fast charging. You can plug it in, and what I've noticed is, in 15 minutes you get up to more than 50, around 50-52% battery, and roughly in around 35 to 40 minutes you can get this full charged. But before people complaining about my fast charging not working, you have to do one thing. Go to the battery settings, battery health, and make sure that this fast charging toggle is on, else you will not get the fast charging. The device is running on FunTouch OS 15, which is based out of Android 15. And if you're talking about the update, this is the latest update which I've got. This is actually a December security security patch update, which I think as of today, not many phones have got this. Now, normally what happens is when you buy smartphones, it comes with a lot of preloaded applications. So what I did is I was using the smartphone and then I had did a full reset. Now this is what it looks like. So these are the applications that come out of the box. There are like 1, 2 or 3 applications which are there which can be uninstalled, but you don't have that kind of a unnecessary applications being pre-installed. But I know there is this thing, the V App Store, which if you keep using it might tend to install some of the other apps, but you can just turn the notifications off and you can stop the application and it will solve your problems. But this time the animations in the device, right, they have actually improved it. See how seamless and smooth this is happening. Even if you see there's a widget here, right, I just touch the widget, it opens up, I press the home button, it goes back to the widget. So these kind of subtle animations are making the user experience better, and overall I did not notice any lag, glitch or bugs. There is no stutter, frame drops, nothing. And if you give this smartphone any game to run right now, this will run it very smoothly. I know people have been comparing this chipset with the A18 and then still this is the better one. Even this has a 16GB of RAM plus 16GB of expanded RAM. You just turn it off. Even then, if you are using like 10-15 applications, you go back to the first application, right? How it was when you left, the same way this is retaining. So the RAM management and the RAM retaining is good. So if you ask me about the performance, I don't have anything to say. You can bet on it. This is a performance beast. Okay, so the display is good, the design is good, battery backup is good, even the processing is good. So where must have they compromised on? Is it the cameras? Because you can see these are the cameras. This has a triple 50 megapixel camera setup. You have a 50 megapixel primary camera, 50 megapixel telephoto camera, 50 megapixel ultra wide camera. And in all 3 cameras, I can see that the photos are kind of consistent. Even the colors, brightness and saturation in the 3 cameras are almost in par. The photos are coming really nice, and they have even given an option to change the kind of bokeh styles. Now if you notice the photos coming out of this device is Instagrammable or Instagram posting ready, social media ready photos. It's kind of vivid and bright. And the reason for this is this thing in the middle. By default, the camera's kind of a calibration is for vivid, but if you don't like the vivid photos, you can just switch it to natural and you'll get the kind of not that much vivid photos. And even the portrait photos which you're taking with this, the edge detection is nice, the kind of bokeh you're getting is nice, the way it balances the overall photo, it's all good. But if you specifically ask me what can be improved, I can say when there is a harsh light from behind, at times the skin tone is kind of a mess, but that is like a 1 out of 10 time kind of a thing. The device supports up to 8K 30 frames per second of videos, but I normally shoot in 4K 60 frames per second. That's what I like, it's stable. But if you want even stabler videos, say ultra stable mode, it shoots at 1080p 60 frames per second. And the best part is 4K 60 FPS is available in all the lenses. Yeah, even the front camera supports 4K 60 FPS. There can be a little bit more stabilization in the front selfie camera, but the front selfie photos are really good. So to conclude, what I would say is this device has a very good display, very good battery, very decent cameras, awesome performance, good build quality. So for a 53K price point, this is a really value for money smartphone. If you are planning to buy a powerful smartphone, powerful Android smartphone right now, you can just go for this thing. This would be one of the best value for money devices right now. So that's it. That's my review of this device. If you are new to this channel, do consider subscribing for more such videos. Until next time, bye bye.